Hello everyone, this video I want to share with you an update for my AOE Tsunami build. I'm still working on getting another full metal armor, preferably with more better cooldowns here, but right now that's what I have. This is the main weapon, Battle Staff of Terror. You can actually see the previous video I made about it and why it's so powerful, but of course I'm going to share gameplay in a moment so you can see what I mean, but this is for the update, so I'm going to share what I actually updated. So this is a defeat mode exploit, been thundering. It's all about AOE, also Radiance, which is good also to just keep the health high. And also when you attack single targets, Radiance is good because there's a chance to just on hit to gain health. The other thing is your critical hit, because I enjoy critical hits. Simple as that. And of course extra damage for a high health target on melee range. Now this is what I actually had, the Green Menace bow, and you know, here I actually wanted another slot for poison, but of course I can't have it, but I can use this one. And what I do actually, I'm left clicking to attack, and if I want to attack with arrows, just to make sure that I have a poison class as well, I just would right click. Now there's a reason I didn't use any bow until now, because I don't like to stop and shoot. I want something that keeps the pace, and this can act like you know, it doesn't interfere. I can, for example, just tap melee, and even in melee range, I don't need to shoot in range. Keep this in mind. Even in melee range, I can just right click and I can spawn poison clouds when it's enemies. Now I use multi shots here because I want chaos, I want lots of clouds, and chain reaction. Now here I haven't decided what should I use. Maybe you can help me. Which one should I choose? Maybe bonus shot, maybe extra damage, right? But again, you need to understand the idea is that poison cloud, this is the goal here, AOE damage and also piercing, right? But I don't know if our piercing actually works with the poison clouds. Something to try probably on another weapon and see. So I'm going to show you now gameplay, and we're going to talk about it through the gameplay. So let's go. Alright, first of all, let me explain what's happening here. This is without the bow right now, alright? I'm going to tell you when the bow, when I added the bow into the build. So, many things happening. First of all, I told you that when enemies die, they explode. And they'll deal damage, 60% of their damage to the other enemies nearby. And this is really crazy. And this causes also enemies, as you can see, to just push out. You just kind of pushed from the position once other enemies explode. And this creates a really chaotic gameplay, which is so much fun to watch. The thundering, of course, is being channeled between enemies, dealing damage to several enemies in a nearby location. But also, if enemies are kind of relatively close together, it can actually channel for a long way, which is great. Now, if we are dealing with a big enemy and we're attacking one enemy and there are many small ones, Radiance is good because we are eating one big enemy, so it's not like Lich when you need to eliminate the enemy, you just need to hit the enemy. So this is actually good when fighting against bosses or big enemies and try to deal damage. That's why I also have critical hit. Now the only thing missing for me is a better armor for this build, but this one is okay, it's good for this one. I still need better, faster cooldowns. But as you can see here, I'm just melting enemies with AOE damage, and also doing a lot of melee damage with my weapon as well. So this is not like you're doing a big sacrifice of them, you're still gonna deal lots of damage with this weapon. But again, keep in mind the focus is on AOE damage, and look what's happening on the screen. Tons of damage, channeling of damage using lighting, enemies are pushed back, and when they explode, they deal damage to other nearby enemies. It's totally chaotic and it's super fun to play. I'm just brute forcing myself with this AOE damage through enemies, as you can see here. So this is a really different build compared to anything that I tried before, because this one is focused on AOE. This is what led me actually to choose a unique bow to complement this one. Usually I don't use any bows, as I told you, but this one actually complemented, allowed me to get also poison damage as well. You can see the thundering is the most important part of this build. I still have radiance, and I also have critical hit, so I still feel powerful dealing damage to single enemies, while also being able to deal tons of damage to all enemies nearby. Now let's move on to the bow, so we can see. From time to time I just practice this one. Again, I'm just starting with this build, but it's already looking great. Here you can actually then demonstrate what it does. This is great. This spawns so much poison clouds, and the reason for this, because I also have multi-shot, which grants a chance to fire 5 arrows at once, and also have chain reaction that there's a chance to fire 5 arrows in all directions on impact, 30%. The other third one I haven't decided what to do just yet, but it's already looking very powerful. Now the idea is that I don't need to kind of stop and actually wait. I'm just demonstrating here, but you can actually just right click whatever you do, even against bosses. Right click, continue, left click, right click, left click, left click, right click. Of course left click is the main one to use. So a lot of things happening. So on top of all the chaos that I explained earlier, you also have the poison that deals damage over time. So even if before I was melting enemies, now it's just crazy. And when I have my other, if I find a good armor to further optimize this build, it's going to be insane. And I'm so happy that finally I was able to use a bow that actually serves a purpose and actually enjoy it. Because you don't need like a bow that I need to stop and shoot. This one actually is good for melee build. For a melee build, yes, a bow for a melee build. And if you look at the left screen, it's just crazy what's happening. You see so many things are actually active, so many buffs. And this is definitely a fantastic addition to my AOE Tsunami build that I'm definitely going to keep and see how I can actually even improve it. Right now I'm just looking for a better armor, but it's already looking really great and just so powerful. So if you want to try a very exotic build, something else instead of the boring ones, now I really can just go back to my cursed axe because it feels a bit boring. I mean, compared to this one, this is just, this is just a party. I just can't go back because I enjoy this one so much. Yeah, so this is it. This is my addition to the new, to my AOE Tsunami build. When I make changes, of course, I'm going to update. I'm going to upload a new video. So make sure you subscribe and press the bell button to get notified when I release new videos. And eventually it will be perfect. Right now it's already kind of very close to be perfect. I just need a good armor for this one. So again, everyone, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers.